Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here, Drew Vascik, and this is your first episode of Don't Get It Twisted, hosted by Drew Vascik, produced by Billy Seach, Episode 1, Pilot. How you boys doing today?
I'm great. How are you, Drew?
Nate, how are
Pretty
you?
good, man.
Fabulous.
Billy? That's our host, Billy, by the way. If you don't know Billy, make sure you check out his podcast, Consistent Genius. So, first thing for today, let's talk about some NFL. Super Bowl. Can I get some predictions?
Rams.
Pats by 1,000, dude.
Patriots by 2 touchdowns.
All right, so I'm going to have to say, don't get it twisted. I think the Pats are going to take this one home. I just think the experience of Tom Brady and the experience of Bill Belichick and the players on the Pats roster will overcome, the young talent of the Rams.
That's fair. Patriots definitely got the experience. Rams are young, but so here's my theory. Chiefs, Rams, pretty similar offenses.
Mm-hmm.
The Chiefs, no defense. The Rams, nice on defense. They got Aaron Donald, Ndamukong Suh, Dante Fowler, Aqib Talib.
Okay.
So nice. Chiefs suck. It was a close game between the Pats and
Okay, but the Chiefs also, I will go ahead and say the Chiefs have the best offense this year.
Yeah, but
And
the Rams
they
are,
only put 31 on the Pats.
Rams are pretty
And you
close
know
up there.
Bill Belichick is gonna get his team ready.
How many passing yards
Yeah.
did the Chiefs have?
I don't know the specifics.
Because I think
A
Patriots
lot.
had 375.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more.
The Chiefs defense, I will give you that. They're not very good. However, they were in the regular season probably debatably the best team. Else they looked like it. Anyway, so thoughts on the championship games. I thought personally in the NFC, there was obviously that call and everyone's making fun of the ref stuff. Todd Gurley with that Instagram post. But honestly, I think those, like I said in his podcast, I think those two cancel out. I think the whole face mask and the whole pass interference on both sides of the ball cancel out. So I think the Rams were the better team and they won.
I can agree with that. And I do like how you say they do cancel out because that does make sense, They gave one bad call to each team, and I respect that.
Okay. I don't think they cancel out. Because face masks, they happen. Sometimes you miss it. It's a tough call.
It's the same amount of
Still,
yardage.
yeah.
It's the same amount of yardage
Okay.
than a pass interference is.
But they
Spot
missed
foul,
that
15 yards,
sometimes.
personal foul.
That penalty was so obvious.
So is a face mask.
No.
Yeah.
Not so obvious.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted.
And if they would have called that ball or called the foul penalty on the Rams, Saints would have ran the
Well, the
clock
point
out.
is they were both on
Would've ran
third.
the clock out.
They were both
Rams
on.
wouldn't have got the ball back.
They're both on third down, and so cost both of the teams the drive, and the better team won. That's all that matters.
And it did go to overtime, correct?
Yeah.
So it was a pretty close game anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next thing on here, who do you guys think's gonna go at number 1 in the NFL draft?
See, I don't know enough about all those prospects and stuff, so I can't really
Fair enough.
Bosa.
Yeah, I was thinking Bosa at the beginning of the year. I think it was Ed Oliver was number 1 projected.
Yeah.
Hopefully because I know Bosa was gonna be great. His brother's pretty good as it is. One of the best defensive linemen in the league, and even though he had that whole injury, and teams are gonna be like, how is he gonna deal with after the injury? How is he gonna play? But I feel like he'll be ready to go. I feel like he should go 1. I feel like Haskins is gonna go 7 to the Giants. If he doesn't go 7 to the Giants, he's gonna go 8 to the Jags. I feel like
Yeah.
because he's the number 1 quarterback. The Oregon quarterback isn't going. So speaking of Ohio State. They got a new quarterback, Justin Fields. I know you're a Penn State fan,
I am.
but how do you feel about that transfer?
See, I heard about what's his name, Tate Martell.
Tate Martell, yeah.
Wasn't he really good or something? And then they just
Going
Going to Miami?
He was so Justin Fields was last year's ESPN 300. He was the number 1 prospect, number 1 and number 2. They would switch him and Trevor Lawrence, prospect in the whole country, and that's the first time it's been back-to-back quarterbacks ever. And he was one of the highest rated prospects ever to be recorded on ESPN 300. So he was going to Georgia, and he probably thought he was just gonna walk in there and start over Jake Fromm. That's not what happened. And I feel like I don't know. There's probably other factors that went into it, but him and Dwayne Haskins shared the same quarterback coach, I believe. And I feel like if he knew Dwayne Haskins was going to stay another year, then he wouldn't have come to Ohio State. But he knew that Dwayne Haskins was going to leave because they share the same coach. So he transferred over. It was between like Ohio State, Florida State, and there was like another school somewhere in there. But yeah, I mean, I'm pumped. I feel like he's going to be pretty good. And the whole Tate Martell thing, everyone's kind of giving him some hate and stuff. But like in the end, like, do you blame him? Because he said he was going to stay and fight for a spot, but what was I saying? Tate Martell, yeah. So he said he was going to stay there and fight for a spot, but like obviously, Tate Martell was 2 years ago, he was the Under Armour Offensive Player of the Year or something, but he was nowhere near highly as ranked as
I think
Justin Fields was.
Martell was the number 1 ranked dual threat quarterback.
Yeah, that could have been true.
I think that's
Justin Fields was also a dual threat, but he was number 1 overall too.
yeah,
So,
overall.
but yeah, I don't blame him because he probably wasn't going to start over him. And
Do you think that was kind of a douchebag move, Fields coming in and taking a spot?
no, I feel like you survival of the fittest. He needs to if he wants to play. And obviously Ohio State's going to be. They got a lot of returning guys actually. A lot of guys that I thought were going to leave. They're coming back, and hopefully we're good next year. You can adapt to the offense.
Did Fields like all of Tate Martell's sisters' like Instagram posts or something?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That'd be savage though.
Yeah,
I think
did.
that's
That's
what I
very
heard
funny.
or something.
Yeah,
He did.
yeah, but I don't blame Tate for leaving. And Miami, they're not that good, but it's still it's somewhere that hopefully he can play good football and stuff. So, all right, so this is kind of a long time ago, but Clemson and Georgia are kind of on the rise now. Alabama, they seem to be always kind of up there,
Yeah.
but you guys can debate this with me, but I feel like slowly but surely, Alabama's still getting a lot of the good recruits and stuff. But Georgia and Clemson are also starting to become powerhouses, as we saw Clemson was. Clemson, they're losing a lot of guys this year, but both Clemson and Georgia are starting to become powerhouse. So, do you guys think in the next 4 or 5 years that Georgia will be the new SEC powerhouse over Alabama?
No.
No, I don't.
You don't?
No.
Like I can see Clemson like winning the national championship multiple more times
Okay.
in the future, but I don't see Georgia ever overtaking Alabama.
I
Unless Nick Saban,
see
retires.
what I feel, not necessarily what I know or whatever, because it's the future. But what I feel is going to happen is eventually, Alabama will always have good recruits and stuff. Georgia will also be getting good recruits and stuff. Georgia had the best recruiting class last year. They'll both be getting good and stuff. Eventually, Georgia will surpass. But by that time, Georgia surpasses that. I feel like that it'll be the end of the Nick Saban era. Like he'll retire in the next year or something like that. Because Nick Saban, you can say what you want about him. I personally don't like him, but he's a great coach. He's won almost as many championships as Bear Bryant, who's debatably the best college football coach ever. So, and they both coached at Alabama. All right, so it's kind of early predictions here, but NCAA basketball, who's your guys' favorite to win it all?
I think I have Gonzaga over Duke. I watched I think it was in Hawaii. It was like the holiday special or something. What's Hachimura or something? The
Yeah.
big guy. He looks Asian.
Mm-hmm.
He's a beast. I think he's a little bit better than Zion, honestly. Zion looked pretty bad in that game. It's a bit overrated, but I don't know. I feel like they'll beat him in the championship or something like that down the line.
All right, Nate.
I got Duke. I don't see how you can pick against them.
Do you want to?
I'm gonna have to go with Duke. I just think if they perform well, they do their job, they'll do it.
I
They're a
can see that.
powerhouse.
They got R.J. Barrett, they got Zion, they have who's the other guy?
Cam Reddish.
Yeah, Cam Reddish, and they were like the top 3 prospects last year in the
Man.
basketball ESPN
Gonna be the top 3 picks next year.
300. Yeah, so their team is insane, but I will always say this for basketball: you never know what's gonna happen. There's a reason that those 11 seeds go all the way, like Loyola Chicago. Definitely not the best talented team, but they're one of the top 4. They finished one of the top 4 teams in the country. Should that happen? Probably not, but certain things happen in a tournament. Do I think Duke will get to the Final Four? Yeah. Do I have Duke winning it all? Probably. But there's many things that go into that aren't just, what if Zion gets hurt? What if Cam Reddish gets hurt.
What if anyone gets hurt?
Yeah, exactly. It's injuries, and there's Duke. They're always one of the best teams in the nation, and they're not in the March. They're not in the Final Four even. Like they're in there sometimes, but they choke. Duke's known for choking. Like I remember they were a 2 seed like 3 years ago, and they lost to a 15 seed.
They haven't won it in a while, have they?
They lost to Mercer.
Yeah, they beat Wisconsin. I think was the last time they won it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. When Kentucky was undefeated, I know Wisconsin beat them, and then Duke beat Wisconsin, and then they also beat Butler when Butler made that run.
Duke football was struggling this year too.
Yeah, Duke football's not usually the best though.
Been that good.
So have any of you guys got a chance to watch Tennessee basketball this year? They're ranked number 1.
I have not.
They kind of just came out of absolutely nowhere. I know Kentucky's always kind of been that SEC powerhouse for basketball with John Calipari and stuff, but I don't know. I just didn't see that coming. I just saw in the headlines, Tennessee surpasses Duke to get to number 1. So I don't know. But it seems to me that SEC they got Kentucky and Tennessee, but I feel as if ACC is superior in basketball.
Yeah.
Would you guys agree with that?
Easily.
Yeah. Just all those East Coast teams and stuff. Not all these teams are always good, but North Carolina, Syracuse, Virginia, Duke, all those teams seem to be pretty much like really good every single year. So when turning time comes around, or like right before that, I love watching the ACC championship games because that kind of gives you a good feel on what's gonna happen. Except for last year, Virginia lost to the 16 seed.
I had Virginia win it all.
I did too.
I had them going to the Final Four.
hard,
So.
Hate to see it.
Yeah, but see, like Virginia's obviously better than that team. They didn't lose a game, or they lost like 2 games the whole season, and they lose to the 16 seed. Like anything can happen in March Madness tournament.
That is facts.
Yeah. So I was reading a thing on this website called The Score. I read a lot of stuff on there for sports, and people were debating. I don't know what, like Zion might be have a minor injury or something. I'm not sure, but it was questioning if he was going to play the rest of the year at Duke, like this year. And I was doing some more reading, and he said he's obviously going to stay. But what do you guys think about that?
Could they trade mid-season?
Trade
or transfer?
Transfer?
Is that
No.
even-
He was apparently going to sit out
Oh.
or something. I don't know if it was injury or just because.
Some radio guy said he should just sit out. He's shown what he's worth.
Okay.
He should just sit out and prepare for the draft.
Yeah,
I don't know
but
if he
yeah,
will,
he said
I
he's
don't
gonna.
buy into that.
No,
Like,
yeah,
no.
I agree with his decision.
You're only in college once, like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I honestly agree with his decision because that if you go to college, I don't know if I'm the biggest supporter about the one and done rule, but if you should at least play 1 year for that college. I think
Yeah.
football's got it pretty solid, but that's what basketball is now.
Yeah.
It's Kentucky, North Carolina, Duke. They always do. The top freshmen go there for 1 year and then they just leave for the draft the next year.
Yeah.
But talking about basketball, Coffin basketball is undefeated this year. How do you guys see us doing the rest of the season?
I don't know. We'll probably win district championship pretty easily.
We're
Maybe
winning
regionals.
states. Who do we play in states, or who's projected?
I don't know, it's a big tournament. We went to districts last year. We beat UA, and then that's when there's the Elite 8. We lost last year. I see us
Who did we
going
lose to?
Pick Central.
Really?
Yeah,
Did
they had some kids
They were
going
good.
to
Played
North
them this year?
Carolina or
He
something.
didn't play though. Kid that went to North Carolina didn't play that.
Was
game.
there
He
a
hurt.
quarterback playing basketball?
I have no clue. I remember we beat Pick North this year, but our team looks pretty solid. But
I think we're better this year.
yeah, we're definitely better this year.
Yeah.
We got 4 seniors starting: Luke Bartimes, Derek Van Valera,
Will Hunter.
we have Will Hunter, and then who's
Pat?
Grant.
Huh?
Grant Yater.
Yeah, Grant Eater. He's a senior, and then
Is
on the
Pat not
bench, Evan James. What?
Pat Priest?
Yeah, he's a senior. He's on the bench. Evan James, Jack Greenwald, but he's injured. And then Dom Penn, who's junior starting, and then Keaton Turner, who's been the 6th man coming off the bench.
So nasty squad.
Yeah. So
Basically.
they've got loads of talent. Next year they probably won't be anywhere close to as good. But I don't know. I could see them making a run in the tournament, and I could also see them, because they've had some slip ups in the season where they should have killed teams and they just haven't done
I mean, they are still undefeated.
too well. That is true. They are still, but at the same time, you remember first year of the playoff when Ohio State won it. You remember Florida State? They were coming off a championship season. They were undefeated. They were undefeated the next season, but you knew that they were gonna lose because they had so many slip ups and stuff. Like they almost lost like 5 games that they should have won.
fair.
So I feel like this with a lot of teams, especially football. But there's a certain point. Like if you lose once in football, then like you can't make the playoff per se.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of harder. But I feel as if like a team, unless you're just completely like insanely good and you don't need to lose, I feel like a team needs to take a loss or two throughout the season because it'll like
learning moment.
yeah, learning moment, and it'll make sure it doesn't happen again. Like, because if you keep winning barely, that teaches you that you can keep winning barely. So, I don't know. I feel like they'll make a good run in the tournament, but I don't see them winning states this year. They're ranked number 3, I think, in the state this
What
year.
are the other good teams? Like, I don't even know.
Moeller.
Pig Central's good. Moeller. I forget. I don't know. I had the rankings up. Hilliard Bradley's pretty good.
Hilliard Bradley's insane.
Yeah.
I think we have a decent chance of
Pig
winning
Central's
states.
number 1. Yeah.
I mean, we are going against like athletes on the other team, obviously, but we have a great squad.
Yeah.
Didn't Central lose to North? Pick Central
They
lost
might
to
have.
Pick North, I'm pretty sure.
And we beat
we
Pick
beat North,
North.
yeah.
So we should beat Pick Central.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you guys want to go tune into those broadcasts, I'm the announcer for the broadcast. I do a great job. Our squad hasn't lost yet, as I'm saying. So make sure you go check that out. Let's go into the NBA. So Warriors have won like 10 straight or something. So they weren't doing too hot at the beginning of the year, and now Clay had 44 last night against the Lakers, and so they're rolling now. So do you guys think they're gonna repeat?
Obviously.
Yes.
You guys think they'll repeat?
Probably.
I don't
I
see
think
anyone
they've-
challenging them.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah,
other
they finally.
people
I
in the
knew it was gonna be a
West.
matter of time until they found their mojo, and I mean they got it. So
You got like the Rockets, but they're not a
Like,
great
It's
team.
literally just James
Yeah.
Harden.
They got James
That's
Harden.
it.
You got the Raptors. They're all right.
Chris Paul's injured, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got the Raptors. They're all right. Celtics. I don't see them doing anything.
Yeah.
Bucks. They got Giannis, but
I mean they're pretty good. They're
76ers, though,
Bucks are all
watch
around a
out.
good team.
Trust the process.
I mean they're not anywhere as good as the Warriors are, but
yeah,
they're a pretty good all around
they're
team.
good. Yeah, but
All right, Melo got traded to the Bulls.
and then
When was
cut.
that?
What?
And then he got cut.
From the Bulls?
Yeah.
No way. I didn't read that.
You didn't see that? He
No.
got cut right away.
Was
When
that
did he
the
get
AM?
cut?
Huh?
When did he
Language.
get cut?
They
I apologize.
right away.
Yeah, they.
Oh shoot!
The Rockets
Melo's-
traded Melo and Cash to the Bulls, and the Bulls just cut him.
Wow.
Yeah, they. I don't know. I think it's his time to go. He's not. Hasn't done
Getting old
anything.
now.
I mean, I think he deserves a roster spot.
Yeah,
He's
I
definitely
agree.
better than some of the players that are playing.
That's like a home name.
He's
Yeah.
not like
I can see him
awful,
going to
awful.
the Lakers, honestly. But
Yeah.
so LeBron is injured, correct or no? Still
I
injured.
believe so.
Was it his
Yeah.
groiny stretched
Yeah.
or something?
And
Well,
Lonzo
yeah, I don't know,
Ball's
he
out
did
too.
something.
Sprained
Yeah.
his ankle.
Well, you can see the LeBron effect.
Yeah.
You can see how bad the
Yeah.
Lakers are doing, and you can see how bad the Cavs are doing, especially without him. So that leads me into my next thing, GOAT. Let's talk some GOAT. Who you guys have?
LeBron.
Jordan.
Dude, I don't know.
You're questionable.
I'm like
That's
either
that's
way. they're
that's
both
kind of
good.
how I am. And originally I would say Jordan, but this is where I like think of it. Like Jordan, first of all, we didn't grow up in his era, so
Yeah,
we
that's
didn't get to
true.
watch him play.
That is fair.
So that a lot of people that say LeBron, they haven't. Like my dad thinks it's Jordan, and he's been alive for both eras.
Yeah.
But you look at this is the argument I always bring up to people, and people can't. They can BS it all they want, but no one can really. You look at when he's on a team and when he's off a team, and you see how different those teams are. Jordan would obviously, yes, he'd have an impact, but he
Yeah.
wouldn't have that big of an impact if he was like not on a team.
Yeah. And there's like same with that. Michael Jordan left the Bulls, and Scottie Pippen still
Yeah.
still did fine. Not like championship. but
exactly.
They still did fine.
Yeah, and then Michael, when he was pretty he was about LeBron's age now, and he came back and he played on
It's the Magic.
no, it wasn't the Magic, it was the
Wizards.
Washington Bullets.
Wizards.
They were the Bullets back
Wizards.
then. They were
the Wizards.
I have his jersey.
They have the blue and.
I know, but they're
gold.
still the
You
Bullets.
said Wizards.
It's Bullets.
I'll look it
All
up.
right, yeah, check it out. I have the jersey, so
Okay.
See, the thing about it is, we could take
might have been
LeBron.
both, but I don't know how long he played for them.
We could take LeBron and us four, and we could go ball up on anyone.
Yeah, because we have LeBron. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
That's what I'm saying. He's a factor.
He's the only
You
like.
could say that with Jordan though.
No, I don't think so. I think Jordan needs like a good counterpart. I think he needs assistance.
Can I
So I
look
mean, you
up-
got
now
Nate
look
can
up
shoot
bullets.
threes occasionally. Me too. Drew's pretty wet from downtown.
I can dunk. I mean, it's whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I just
Can you really?
No,
I was gonna say.
9-foot rim.
I just don't know if Jordan had that
Impressive.
impact on a team, and that's why I have to say LeBron's.
How many
the GOAT,
rings did
because
Jordan have?
I
Didn't
think
he have
that's
four?
photoshopped.
6?
It's not photoshopped.
Oh, looks like he played for both.
How much does
Yeah.
LeBron have right now?
We're
Like
both right.
3?
3. Yeah, he has 3. He's been to like 8 straight though, which is, if you
Is
think
he
about it,
gonna win
that's
3
insane.
more though?
No,
Not that that means.
I don't see him winning 3 more. But he also didn't have someone like Scottie Pippen, and Scottie Pippen, you say, oh
Yeah,
well,
Dwayne Wade.
Kyrie, I mean, no, not Kyrie. LeBron, he had Dwayne Wade, which Dwayne Wade, I could say, is
And
in the
Chris
same
Bosh.
area
good.
as
He had 2
as
scorers.
Scotty. However,
and
Scott,
his face?
Scotty's arguably like one of the top 5 small forwards of all time. Like his defensive ability was like out of this world. Like none of us got to see it or anything, but the things that he would do on defense and stuff, because I watched some YouTube, is like insane. And they had Dennis Rodman too for 3 years, who's like one of the all-time rebounders. Like that's what he was known for, was getting rebounds. So like you put those factors together and you see what LeBron did and what Jordan did, and what LeBron like does for the team is just so much more, I feel like, than Jordan. But you can make an argument both ways. But Harden had his what?
I have another topic when you're done.
Okay, Harden has
Run at it.
his 20th straight 30-point game, even though they got crushed by the Sixers. What do you guys think about that?
That's
if you're,
crazy.
If you're playing for your own stats, then I don't think it counts. If your team loses, then you lost.
I feel that, but MVP talks, Alright, so what were you gonna say?
We're on James Harden. I think he's a bit overrated.
Okay, we'll get to that
But
here
it's
in a minute.
crazy how much he's putting up. Like that's so crazy.
Was it like 50 a game now? Like 50 over the past few?
I think he's averaging 40 plus.
He's had 20 straight games of over 30 points.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
Like over 30, that's good right there. And 20 straight games, that's
Okay.
crazy.
So what else were you gonna bring up?
So about the NFL draft, kind of brought it up, but Kyler Murray, about football, baseball.
Okay. Yeah. He
Where
should
do you
definitely go
think he's
baseball.
Where do you think
Yeah.
he's gonna get drafted though? Like
Uh,
football.
I don't know. Maybe if Giants take Haskins, maybe Jags. I'm not sure. Maybe late first round. He should definitely stick to baseball because he's,
Yeah.
there are small quarterbacks in the league. However, he's a top-notch baseball player, and obviously, Heisman Trophy winner, great football player, but it's not that NFL. Like you can have Dwayne Haskins and you can have Kyler Murray, and you can just say Dwayne Haskins is a way better NFL quarterback
Yeah.
than
easily.
Kyle Murray is. I mean, not 100%, but you're almost positive because just his throwing abilities and stuff. Plus, you also have to add in the fact that Kyler Murray played in the Big 12, which
They suck.
yeah, that defense, those defenses are not good at all. And so when you go up against top-notch corners like that and against way bigger guys, it's a way different thing.
Kyler Murray's about to go. He could possibly be the first person ever to go first in the MLB draft and the NFL draft.
First round or first pick?
First round.
First round.
Yeah, first because he got drafted 9th to the A's, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like that's never been done before. I think Bo Jackson got like first and then second,
Yeah.
which is still pretty good.
All right, so you got some stuff?
We got some twisted thoughts. Number 1 on the list is the NBA MVP.
Before you go, just so we can explain it. So Twisted Thoughts is a segment we'll have every week here on Don't Get It Twisted. It's just kind of a 10-minute segment. Billy will throw out some ideas, thoughts, opinions, and we can either agree or debate on the certain what is said. So
We got the NBA favorite for MVP.
James Harden.
I can agree with that, but I could also see Giannis just because his team's doing so well.
I could see that. But look at Giannis, and you look at guys like
Stats.
Bledsoe, Middleton. Jabari Parker's still on that team, or is he on the Bulls?
He got traded
Oh, yeah, I think he's on the Bulls.
somewhere. I think.
I think,
Bulls, yeah.
And I think they have Greg Monroe. That sound right?
A while back, I don't think anymore.
I'm used to playing 2K with them. Anyway,
Yeah, facts.
so they have someone that's pretty good at center. But anyway, so they they're good. They're a good solid team. Like you look at Chris Middleton, you're like, who is Chris Middleton? But he's a good shooting guard. He's 6'7".
Yeah.
He averages almost 20 points a game. He's solid. James Harden, Chris Paul is out, so I'll give him that. But, like I said, 20 straight games with 30-plus points. That's, like, out of this world. Like, that no one – maybe one person has done it. But
See,
I
that's why
think I read no one's ever done that before. And he's averaging, like, 40-plus in the first, like, 10 or something, which is insane.
I'd have to say Harden too, because that is actually a crazy stat, and you don't see that every day. So he's going off. He
Yeah.
deserves it.
Lucas, what do you think?
Yeah, Harden easily.
But it's weird. Sorry. You look at Westbrook, and you see, he was averaging, like, I'll give him, he was averaging almost 30 points, and he was having that triple-double season, and that gave him the MVP.
Yeah.
But he's done that the last 2 seasons, and he's on track for that this season too. Not the 30 points, but the 20 points and the triple-double. So it's just weird, when someone was averaging a triple-double before, everyone was like, oh my God, that's like insane. Like, no one's ever done that. And now Westbrook's doing this, like, and everyone's like forgetting about him. I'm not saying that Westbrook should be MVP. I don't think he should, because that one season was like historic, especially after KD left. But I just think it's weird. Like, what if Harden just drops 30 like every game, like, for the rest of his career? Like, eventually, we'd be like looking back on it like, oh yeah, that was insane. But everyone would get used to it. So
Yeah. Another thing on Harden, though, we were talking about this earlier, but he had like 3 games where he scored like 150 points, something like that. I don't know if it's that much.
yeah,
Wait,
All
pause.
of them?
150 points?
It was
Yeah.
a lot of points.
It was
but
100
every
something.
single point was unassisted.
It was like 158.
But
Maybe it might have been
that
4
just
games.
shows you don't want to play him one-on-one. Like,
But like, how are you not moving the ball at all not to get one assist on for him?
Literally just walking up the
He's
court.
literally just
doing
dribbling
his
and shooting
step
it.
back, just
There's
doing
literally no
He
passing.
makes it.
How does that happen?
he makes it.
play
He's nasty,
travels,
that's
He
how.
shoots a lot of shots.
Now there's a reason his team, that they're
He
doing
went-
okay, but
He went 5 for 19 for 3 one game and had like 45 points.
okay. Well, is there anyone else? Trevor Reeves is on the Suns. Who else is on the team? Chris Paul's out, so
Clint Capella's out.
yeah, Clint Capella's out. So they have no one. They literally
Eric Gordon.
yeah. All right, next thing.
Next
Eric
twisted
Gordon.
thought: the NCAA one and done rule.
Personally, I think it should be like college. Basketball should be like college. I don't know what you guys think, but
What do you mean by
What's
that?
the college?
so college basketball rules is you don't have to redshirted, true, whatever. You have to play for a season or be on the team for maybe not even a season, just a year. You still have to be on the team for a year, and then you can go declare for the NFL draft.
Unpopular opinion: I think it should be 4 years. You should have to play all 4 years and go through the process. Because when you start as a freshman in high school, for example, you start at the bottom of the totem pole in most cases, and you build your way up to a senior. You should
Big
have to go
Bill,
through that
don't get it
process
twisted.
a couple times.
Don't get it twisted. All right. Listen, they're athletes, obviously.
Yeah.
So Zion Williamson, he's going to go to the NBA one day, all right? So if you're trying to get a good education or whatever, yeah, I'd say go for all 4 years. But the college football rule is, I believe it's 3 years if it's true, and then
Just 3 years.
Yeah,
You
it's-
can
yeah, it's
get
3 years.
redshirted.
so you have to go there for 3 seasons. I think, maybe you could say 2 for basketball, like half your college career or whatever. But I think 1 year's a little, if you go to college, you go to college. All right. If you're just gonna go to the NBA draft, then just stay. Like, don't even do what LeBron did. Just go from high school. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if you're going to college, Zion's went to Duke or whatever. Obviously, he's gonna go to the NBA draft. But I feel like they should keep him for another year or whatever, and all those guys, because basketball is becoming whoever can get the one and done guys, and then you're just going one season. It's not like they even obviously they care about if they win the March Madness tournament or whatever, but their main thoughts are the draft, and that's why they're only going place for 1 year. As a difference in with football is, it's, and especially not around March Madness time. A lot of people watch March Madness, but that's just because it's awesome,
Yeah.
But college football is much bigger, like regular season, than in college basketball is regular season, just because it's because there's gonna be players that are on the team for like 2 or 3 years. It feels like a team. The college basketball is just starting to feel like a pickup team almost.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
agree with
It's
that.
like a 1-year training camp for the
Yeah,
NBA,
exactly.
basically.
I went to one of the OSU games, didn't recognize any players. I don't know. Interesting.
You got
thought.
anything to say, Nate? 1 year rule? You disagree or agree with it?
I think they should go 2 years. I think
2
that's
years.
fair.
I agree. All right, next thing.
Saints versus Rams. The refs call.
I think we
Yeah, we
we
touched
kinda
on this a
covered
little
touched.
bit.
Yeah, we touched on this a
You
little
know,
bit
how
earlier.
canceled out.
But I kind of want to argue with Nate
Saints
here.
got robbed.
But how does you not? There's a listen, if they call that face mask call on the other end, there might not be a pass interference call.
When was the face mask? I don't even know.
I think it was.
Drive before,
Yeah,
right?
it was a drive before. It wasn't. I'm trying to think. Was when the Saints guy got leveled? Was that an OT?
No.
It was with a minute left in regulation.
Okay, so yeah, there was like a little bit of time left in the fourth. They were driving. I don't know who it was. I don't know who got the face mask. Like who got like their face mask pulled, or if it was a pass or a run. But all I know is I remember seeing it was like third down or whatever. The Rams guy, he has it, and he like obliviously, clearly he got his face mask pulled, and it should have been called. If that would have happened, if they would have called it, they would have gotten 15 yards and probably would have been in field goal range. Actually, they would have been in field goal range, especially with Greg Zerline. And that's
All right.
debatably that's the game,
They call that, and then they come back and call the other one. Saints will score a touchdown. They win.
You don't know.
Won.
You don't know if they scored a touchdown. I could
Alright,
say
but
the
if they
Rams scored a
call that-
touchdown too.
Yeah, you could, but
That's a
I
lot
mean,
of
you'll
what-
never
what
know.
ifs. Yeah,
You'll
you don't
never know,
Yeah.
but I think they cancel each other out because you could say, one if if the Rams one happened, then the Rams could have won, and if the Saints one happened, then the Saints could have won.
Yeah.
Our refing definitely, the officiating definitely neves to improve.
yeah,
Yeah.
like,
Of the
I
NFL.
don't
They need to
get.
call everything. Is pretty much.
I still don't understand how you missed that. Whether or
Yeah,
not it
that
right
was
or
blatant.
not.
Listen, if I saw
How do
that
you miss
face
that?
mask call, you definitely should have called that. Like the guy was literally right there, but that PI call was
There were
blatant.
two of them right there too.
It was blatant. The one
was
was
crazy.
extremely blatant though. Like it was.
I feel
I
like
remember watching that live and I go, "Oh my God, is there really no flag?" Like in college football, if you touch a guy, they're calling PI. It's like that's insane. Like I remember I'd get so frustrated watching Ohio State because you got Johnny Dixon going deep, you lay it out, and I mean not frustrated, and there would be almost no contact, and we'd get 15 yards because the guy would touch us, and then I'd see like Damien Arnett or whatever get completely beat. He's beat. He's not like. And the receiver would come back to the ball, and not that, you should get beat ever, but, you get beat. You're not touching the guy or anything, but, it just, college and NFL, like NFL, for example, they don't call the stuff they never call the stuff that really shouldn't be called, but they don't call a lot of stuff that should be called, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
College football is the other way, I feel like.
Well, speaking of college football, Tate Martell is going to the Miami. What is it? Hurricanes.
Hurricanes, yeah, we kind of touched on this earlier too. I like him. He said he was gonna fight for a spot. He didn't, but I feel like what are you gonna do? Like I'm almost positive that Justin Fields would have started, and if I'm Tate Martell and I'm one of the good quarterbacks, especially for my recruiting class, I'm not just gonna sit behind some guy for 2 more years.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go try and do something for
Well,
myself.
see, Tate
kinda like-
Martell, he might have known the playbook. Like
hmm
he knew the playbook.
Yeah.
So if Fields did come in and take his spot right away, then I would have been pissed if I was Martell.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I think
I mean-
he just did the safest
I mean,
thing he could.
yeah,
and go
and
somewhere
Miami's
real
not a
play.
good team, but they're not a bad team either. So
Yeah, okay.
I hope that he does good.
Yeah.
it's kind of similar to like Jalen Hurts and
Yeah, he's going to
to
Oklahoma.
He's going to Oklahoma now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
I
that.
thought he was gonna
that's
go to
like the-
Maryland.
Yeah, that might be Lincoln Riley. The things he's been able to do with quarterbacks, that's something to watch for in this upcoming season. All right, let's get some picks.
All right. So we got the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, real quick.
got
Sorry to interrupt you. Also, the last 10 minutes of each podcast, and don't get it twisted, we'll have picks provided by Billy Seach.
Super Bowl. I say Patriots.
Patriots,
Rams.
Don't-
Upset.
don't get it twisted. All right,
We'll say Patriots win by 2 touchdowns.
all right, yeah.
We got the Pro Bowl.
Pro Bowl. Can't touch on this in your podcast. I got NFC. And they always win.
Yeah, NFC because they always win.
Yeah.
I'll go with that.
Plus, they got Drew Brees now. So
I don't care.
So on Thursday we got MSU at Iowa.
Huh?
MSU at Iowa.
Michigan State at Iowa basketball.
Basketball.
Yeah, Iowa's ranked 19. Michigan State's
Really?
ranked 6. Yeah. I got Michigan State just because Sparty's always good at basketball. But Michigan and Michigan State are ranked 5 and 6. It's pretty interesting, actually. But yeah, I got Michigan State on the road at Iowa.
Yeah, I'm going Michigan State.
On the road, a little risky. I'll go Michigan State.
Yep.
Then we got NC State at Louisville.
And both of the teams are ranked. They're
What's
high
Louisville?
teens.
I'd say Louisville.
Louisville's 19, I think. NC State's like 15 or something.
Home game.
I'm gonna go
Gotta go.
ACC basketball. Home games matter so much. Like you can go, you can be on the Duke squad and go to Chapel Hill, and you can get beat any given day. Doesn't matter how much talent you have. Home court, especially in college basketball, is like college football. Pretty much all college sports, And you could throw in NFL, but like NBA is like,
Doesn't matter.
yeah. Except for maybe like playoffs, but other than that, yeah. But yeah, I'll have Louisville.
All right.
Good coach, Paterno.
Louisville.
Who you
NC
going?
State. I think Louisville basketball is dipping.
On the decline.
Yeah.
You guys remember Kevin Ware? Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue. What?
What happened with their coach? Wasn't there like some scandal?
Paterno? I'm not sure. I haven't
Didn't
really.
he, like,
I'm not
do
really big
something bad?
Louisville basketball guy.
With the
think-
kids, something with the
Yeah,
kids.
he did.
When they would bring the kids on the recruiting trips, they had like strippers or prostitutes.
Nothing's wrong with
would
that.
sleep with them.
I don't know about all that, but all right.
So Michigan at Indiana. I got Michigan.
Yeah, Indiana's unranked. Even though they did beat Michigan the other day, I still have Michigan.
Michigan.
Probably Michigan.
They're good.
Looking for some revenge.
What's this say? Can?
Huh?
Can at Kent.
Oh. Kansas at Kentucky. That's a huge game.
Oh.
I got Kentucky at
What's
home.
Kansas
What's
ranked?
Kentucky ranked?
They're both top 10. I want to say Kentucky's like 9, Kansas is like 5
So
or
probably a
something.
toss-up.
No.
I'll go with
4.
I'll go with Kentucky at home.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Kentucky at home. I hate Kentucky basketball. I don't like John Calipari at all, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna go with Kentucky.
Pays his players a lot.
Facts.
I got
Yeah.
Kentucky though.
Yeah.
No, I'll just go Jayhawks. They usually get.
Don't get it
basketball.
twisted. I mean, they're
They-
good, but not on the road. Not on the road.
They were ranked highly at the beginning of this year, like 1, right?
Mhm.
I think they
Something
were,
like
and now
that.
they're like 9 or 10. So I mean,
Yeah.
We got what? Syracuse at UT.
VT, I think. Virginia Tech.
Might be a V.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
probably is
Easily.
VT.
Yeah. Both of those teams are ranked too. All these ACC schools. But I got even though it's at Virginia Tech, I got the Syracuse 2-3 zone.
yeah, Syracuse.
Thing is deadly.
Ohio State lost.
Yeah,
it.
Jim
First loss
Boeheim.
of the
I'm
season.
impartial on that. I have no opinion.
All right.
I don't know what's gonna happen. What's that say? Oh, Auburn
At Mississippi State. Yeah, I got it.
Who did
we
Auburn
need you
play
for
the
the
other day?
thoughts.
They played Kentucky, right?
Yeah, Auburn's ranked like 18. Mississippi State's ranked 22. Yeah, that's it.
I'm going Auburn.
I'm going Mississippi State
Mississippi State.
at home.
Mississippi
dude.
State at home.
Yeah.
I
I
think
was
home is
watching that.
huge.
Auburn, Kentucky, dude, it was close.
Auburn is pretty good. Let's get some NBA games. Warriors at Wizards.
Warriors.
I don't know,
Is that a
man.
question?
John Wall at home.
Nah.
The
Nah,
Wizards
I'm
are
just joking.
awful.
Warriors.
they terrible this
I'm
year?
joking.
It's not close.
Timberwolves at Lakers.
Lakers.
Timberwolves.
I'm gonna go Timberwolves.
Don't get it twisted, boys.
Is
Lakers are
LeBron
getting
gonna
a
be?
home win.
Is LeBron gonna be back?
No LeBron.
If LeBron's
I
back,
don't
it's
care.
instant win.
I don't care. They're getting a home
You don't
win.
have that big
We're on the
ball
home
brand
crowd.
effect.
And this is actually an appealing game right here. 76ers are third in the Eastern, and Nuggets are second in the Western. 76ers at Nuggets. Who you guys got?
76ers.
Nuggets easy.
Nuggets.
76ers.
Don't get it twisted, both you
Nuggets
boys, because
are nice.
yeah, they're really good this year. Jamal Murray.
Jokic.
Yeah, they're
He's a
Oh,
dog.
they've
he's
got
on that
they're
team?
all. If you look at 2K, they're all like between
man,
90 and
2K
85
stats?
overalls.
They're really good.
But yeah, any last thoughts from any of you gentlemen?
Go Browns.
I second that. Huge
Yeah.
Brown
Go
supporters.
Patriots, baby.
If you guys want us to talk about anything in specific, just DM the Instagram account. We'll put it in the bio and the Twitter as well. Make sure you like and subscribe, leave a comment, post notifications on, and we'll be back next Thursday. Thank you.